And we are ready for football on WQEL Bucyrus, the first choice of North Central Ohio for sports. And now the official toots the whistle. And ready to approach is the Crestline kickoff. It'll go to the sideline, about the 25-yard line. Coming straight up the middle is 30-35, and going down in a heap. That is going to be Andy Cochran, who returns it out to the Crawford 35. So this is better field position than they had, I think, at any time last week.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
They will start at their own, right at their own 35-yard line. Quarterback will be Brandon Steiger. If they run with the wishbone, they'll have Justin Miller, Andy Cochran, Roger Perkins, all in the backfield. They run the wishbone, also still run the eye, and an option looks like they will open up in the wishbone. And now they're quickly shifting Rayburn over to the right side, came from the left side. As on first down, the ball is kept by the quarterback Steiger. He dunks around the right side and does get it out to the 39-yard line, so a nice 4-yard pickup on the first play of the game. Little option run to the right. And Crawford will have a second down and 6 yards to go as they move it out to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have yet to see an option team yet this year, and that's something that we'll find out whether they're, Jeff Cole's team is going to be aptly prepared to be able to handle it. It is a tough offense to defend against, even though it's not very complicated.
Greenick comes as a receiver to the near side. Rayburn this time is at the left end. Back to throw is Steiger. Just throws a quick little pitch over here to Greenick, and he will get maybe another 4 yards. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd and 2. Very safe, high percentage pass there out to the 43-yard line. Friley on the tackle.
Those are two very nice plays for the Colonel Crawford Eagles offensively, especially because we've seen Crestline's defense in the games that we've seen them in the past. They really like to bring people quickly. If you try to drop back and pass, they will blitz their whole defense coming at you.
Crawford goes to an I formation this time on 3rd and about 2. And Steiger keeps the football and trying to dive forward, but he will get pushed back. Good effort in there as climbing over the top was Jim Gledhill to keep Brandon from getting to the first down marker. It'll bring up 4th and about a yard, and Crawford will punt the ball away.
Short game. Yeah, and it was good defensive playing right there for Crestline as the initial rush came from one of the linebackers, and the lead blocker for Colonel Crawford, the fullback, I think it was John West, hit the hole real quickly, but he ended up getting knocked right back into Steiger, so he had no hole to run through. He tried to look for something else to happen, but Crestline defense would not give up the line of scrimmage, and sure enough, they stop him, so Colonel Crawford in punt formation now.
Officials took a quick timeout as there was a injury or a equipment problem. Ryan Schmidt in to do the punting for Colonel Crawford. So Crawford goes 3 and out on their first possession. Nice snap to Tim. Bit of a rush, but he's able to get the ball away. It's a bit of a line drive. It's going to be taken back at the 22-yard line, and the return man is only going to bring it out across the 30. Matt Carroll brings it out right to the, I'm going to say the 29-yard line. 10 minutes left to play in this opening quarter. No score as Crestline getting the football for the first time here at Colonel Crawford, and they will start on their 29-yard line. Quarterback will be Ben Hoker. Josh Friley will be the up back in the I formation as Jake Stooks in front of him. And on first down, the ball does go to Friley. He swings to the outside, gets to the corner, able to turn it, and finally gets up the field for about an 8-yard pickup. As he just kept stringing along the line of scrimmage until he saw the opening and able to take it out to the 38-yard line. So a pickup of 9 on the play, so second down and about a yard.
Expect to see that early and often tonight, Jim. And, Josh Friley, probably one of the top, if not the top player in the NCC. And, they're going to try to make, Crestline's going to come out, try to make Colonel Crawford prove that they can stop him running the football.
And Stoops and Friley in the I flag flies. It'll be offsides on Crestline. As maybe they lined up wrong or somebody moved a bit too soon. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be on Colonel Crawford.
Offsides on Crawford.
Apparently contact made before the snap, so that'll be the enough to give Crestline the first down of the ball game.
It gives Crestline first down.
And the Bulldogs have it now at their own 42-yard line with the 1st and 10. Again, the same formation. 2 receivers go out to the left for Hoker with the backs still in the eye. Friley gets the handoff, and Josh will rumble his way over the right side of the Colonel Crawford, over his line, left side of the Colonel Crawford defense. Gets it out only to the 43, so just a 1-yard pickup. That didn't really develop.
No, nothing really there as Colonel Crawford expecting Friley to get the football. The one thing about it, though, is Friley is so good that he really opens up the passing game, passing lanes for Ben Hoker. As they give them the ball so much that the defense has a tendency to come up, expect Friley and getting the ball every play. And Hoker is a very good quarterback with a nice arm. He can complete some passes for Crestline.
Hatfield splits 7 yards at right end. The backs are in the eye, and back to throw. Here's Ben Hoker. He's got plenty of time. He's going for the long ball for Hatfield, and it's going to be tipped away at the last instance. Good defense by Adam Grau, who was able to get the hand up and just flick it away at the last moment.
Adam Grau with a great defensive play there. Also, other part of the problem was John Hatfield, the intended receiver, was having a really tough time getting a judge on where that ball was coming down, as he was kind of going back and forth, not running the straight line out there, kind of doing a little wiggling and waggling back and forth, trying to figure out exactly how the plane of that ball was going to be coming down. But like I said, great play by Grau, able to tip it out of
far end of the field. So everybody's situated now. Matt Rui into the ball game. He's the receiver at right with Hatfield. Yes. Other games being played around the area tonight besides this one here in North Robinson. We've got Buckeye Central at Lucas. Wynford is home with Ontario. Bucyrus on the road at Willard. The Galleons at Upper Sandusky. Upper Scioto Valley playing at Riverdale, non-league game. Tiffin Columbians at Norwalk. Bellevue at Shelby. And Davey, of course, will have the scores for us on phone board coming up after the game. Second down, 13 for the Eagles. Dyer comes in motion toward us. And Steiger, a little play action fake, rolling to the side. He's going to hit as he throws, but Dyer catches the ball at the 25-yard line to the 20, and he will go down. And he could have another Colonel Crawford first down. Boy, Steiger took a lick after he let it go, but Tracy Dyer in the right spot.
Now, I'll tell you right there, that's Brandon Steiger with a huge play on that one, making the completion downfield. He knew he was going to get hit on that play. Make no mistake about it. He saw the linebacker coming up at full speed, was going to give him a good pop, but he still put a nice little ball, a little floating pass right into the hands of Grove for, first down.
It'll be a 16-yard pickup, and the Eagles down to the 18-yard line of Crestline. Dyer comes in motion, and boy, he almost messed everything up. Ball is handed off, and getting stood up and pushed back to be Mike Grove, who had lined up in the back. Finally broke away, but it was after the officials had blown it dead. And they're going to say forward progress was the 20-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 1 on the play. Looks like the timing was a little bit off on that one as Dyer was passing the quarterback as when Steiger took the snap and had turned to hand the football off. So
that's one thing you'll see about Colonel Crawford, though, is that they'll throw so many different people in that backfield.
Yeah.
While it keeps people fresh, there is sometimes where you get some timing that's going to be a little bit off.
No motion this time, just a quick pitch over on the right side to Green. It goes one-on-one with the defender, a little bit of a stiff arm, and able to get across the 15 down to the 14-yard line, so a pickup of 6 on the play. And it will bring up a third down and about 4 yards. I'll make that third down and about 5 or 6 yards to go, it looks like.
That's a good play, though, for Colonel Crawford. They're realizing, and this is, just a smart offense of play calling, and you give Mike Colley credit. He realizes that the defensive backs for Crestline are playing a good 5-6 yards deep, so they're just doing Brendan Steiger on a, quick one, two-step drop and quick passes out to Greenick, getting positive yardage.
Grau and Greenick come to this side. This time they throw the ball a little bit high, and it's almost picked up. Went off the hands of Greenick and almost intercepted by Matt Rui. And that'll bring up a fourth down and decision time for Colonel Crawford. Looks like they may go for the field goal here as they're bringing the unit out. It would be, let's see, about a 31-yard field goal attempt. The holder is Mike Grove. Kicker is Andy Cocker, and Andy, I think, does have a 35-yarder so far this year. Again, this will be about, they're going to put it down at the 20-yard line. So let's check that. It'll be Grove being the kicker. There's the snap. The spot is the fake. As rolling to the side, he's got nobody open. Just going to throw the ball up for grabs, and it'll be intercepted, or was it complete? They're going to roll it incomplete. Yep. Well, the holder was Andy Cochran, and Andy rolled to the near sideline, but Crestline was looking for it, I think, and able to stay home, and nobody was open to catch the pass, so Colonel Crawford will, in effect, give it over on downs.
I think the initial plan of that play is for Andy Cochran not actually to even consider throwing the football. Just start running with it as soon as you get it. But Crestline's defense stood up right there, and we had 3 guys there waiting for him. So he just tried to throw up a pass, try to make something happen, get a first down, but he gets knocked down.
Crestline at the 14-yard line. Friley gets the handoff. He gets to the outside of the 20-yard line, 25, and he'll be very close to the first down. A flag comes in now. A second flag comes down.
Yeah, that's going to be a face mask penalty as they drug him down to the ground.
Pickup was out to the 24-yard line, so it was a 10-yard gain on the run. And now they're going to add some yardage to it. Now, was it intentional or unintentional? That'll be the...
I have a feeling this is going to be a big one on that one because they were really dragging him down to the ground by it. It wasn't just, a passing...
Yeah, Crawford's walking way back.
Yeah, getting a hand on the face mask. I mean, that's what they made the tackle by putting his hand on the face mask and bringing him down.
It will be the 15-yarder.
Personal foul.
That'll bring it all the way down to the 39-yard line. And a first down for Crestline right there, so they get quickly out of the hole, not only by the 10-yard run, but the 15-yard penalty. 6-0, Crestline is leading. We're down to the final minute 25 of the first quarter here in North Robinson. Ball is given off to Stoops, who's got the long touchdown run. Again, he breaks free down to into Crawford territory, down to the Eagles' 43-yard line. Pickup of 18 or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Another huge play there for Crestline, excuse me. And what's happening is they're just establishing Josh Friley on these end-around runs in the defense because Friley is such a tough runner. They're getting focused in on him, and then they're just doing quick handoffs to Stoops, getting huge holes for him, and he's downfield before they can even try to make a tackle.
Quick pass on this side to Hatfield, and he will get dragged down from behind as he gets over by the Crawford bench. Just about a 1-yard pass, but then Hatfield takes it all the way down to the 34-yard line, so a pickup of another 9. And Crestline beginning to eat up big chunks of yardage here, and they'll have a second down and 2 from the Crawford 35.
Yeah, they are moving the ball very nicely here, and that was the same type of play that Colonel Crawford's been going with, except the difference is they actually had 3 guys out there blocking for Hatfield.
They split wide receivers this time, but the ball goes to Friley right up the middle. Josh gets to the 25-yard line. Or make that to the, let's say, actually drug down at about the 28. But it will be another Crestline first down.
Yeah, like we said, Colonel Crawford's defense been very good up to this point of the year, but they haven't faced an offense quite the type of strength that Crestline brings to the table. And, Josh Friley is doing the main bulk of the running, but Stoops has stepped up with a couple of big runs, a couple of nice passes by Hoker as well.
Hoker hands the football off to Stoops. This time he will not get the huge yardage up the middle, but does get it down to the 25-yard line, picks up 3 yards, and with that the first quarter comes to an end here in North Robinson. So we've played 1 tonight. After the first quarter, it's Crestline Bulldogs 6, Colonel Crawford Eagles nothing.
It's time right now from Friley and Stoops opening up monster holes. The offensive line doing a great job.
Rui comes as the receiver to the near side. Back to throw is Hoker. It's a draw play as Friley gets it, breaks 1 tackle, and almost ran through a second Colonel Crawford defender and brings it down to the 18-yard line. That should be very close to the first down.
Friley on the carry.
Yeah, he's going to be right there. It's going to be possibly a measurement on it, but a good pickup of 7 yards. Once again, it's Friley just going right up the gut, running right over people. He's getting a nice hole to run through, but then he's getting into the backfield, and he's running over linebackers and defensive backs almost every time.
They are bringing the chains out to measure this one. Again, he gets it down to the 18-yard line. Very close to the 7 yards he needed, and
it's good.
They're really going to lose it that far. Yeah, needed 7 yards, and he got 6.9.
Yeah, this looks like the old index card.
Yeah.
There,
Just a hair short. It'll bring up third down and very short, and this will really help out your third down efficiency factor because you only got to go a couple of inches probably.
Yeah, exactly. And this play, just expect, in quarterback draw, quarterback, sneak's going to get you a first down. There's no doubt about it.
So Crestline already after the line of scrimmage are resetting the chains, and now we're ready to go as Hoker will reach under center, backs in the T this time, split wide receivers just to draw the defense out a little bit. Hoker, though, will hand the ball to Stoops, and he almost busted another one as he gets it down to the 11-yard line. 7-yard pickup. And it will be the 5th first down for Crestline here in the, they got the 6th first down here in the first half.
As you said right there for the play for Stoops, they had to actually shoestring tackle him from behind. If they didn't, he's got nobody in front of him except the end zone.
So first, and they can't get a first down without scoring. They're about the 11-yard line, so first down from the 11. As ball again will go to Friley, trying to sweep to the outside, but he's in some trouble and will get slung down by an arm tackle all the way back at the 16, maybe the 17-yard line. Looks like the 16. See a loss of 5 on the play.
That's a great play right there for Colonel Crawford and their defense, as they actually had a couple of guys over there, putting pressure on Friley, so he wasn't able to make a turn, and, he wasn't able to try to break away from the arm tackle. The defender was able to get a good hold of him, and like you said, just swung him around to the ground, whipped him hard.
Second down, 15 from the 16. And Hooker has the backs in the eye this time, brings receiver to the near side, flips the ball to this side. That is Stoops running to the corner and head down, check that Friley. And he gets bumped out of bounds by Adam Grau.
Friley on the carry again, knocked out of bounds by
And
Grau.
about the 14-yard line, so he only gets 2 yards on the play. And we'll bring up a 3rd and 13.
Colonel Crawford's defense really done a nice job since Crestline's got inside the 20-yard line. They've really stepped it up very nicely, putting a lot of pressure on Josh Friley, trying to make them have to do something else in order to get the positive yardage.
Rui splits out as receiver to the right. They've also got Hooker split at left end here. Or took that Hatfield. Hooker with the football. He's going to roll to the outside. Got the option to run, but he does throw the football, and it's bobbled and dropped by Joe Hipsher, the intended receiver. And brings up a 4th down. It looks like Crestline going to attempt a long field goal here.
Yeah, Hipsher really upset with himself on that play because he was actually able to get away from Colonel Crawford defenders. He had some room to operate there. Would have caught it at about the 4-yard line, but the ball was just got off the tips of his fingers, couldn't get a hold of it. Hipsher thought he should have probably made that catch, although it would have been a very difficult one.
Okay, Jason Goddard to attempt a 31-yard or 30-yard field goal. There's the snap, and it's going to be short. So the scoring, both teams come up empty on the field goal attempt, although Crawford did try a fake on it, but the ball comes over to Colonel Crawford. So good defense by Colonel Crawford as they stop Crestline.
Yeah, Colonel Crawford's defense steps up to the plate right there. And, there's this piece of me that thinks that, Coach Colley for Colonel Crawford's, you got to be, pacing on the back of, the sideline over there because Crestline's offense is moving the ball pretty much at will up to that point. And, on that last drive, Colonel Crawford had an opportunity to try to get some points on the board, but just stalled really close to Crestline's end zone. So I'm wondering if he's on the sideline thinking, how many more times am I going to be able to make it down to that point of the field?
Colonel Crawford will start from their 20-yard line. 10:24 left to go in the second period. 6-0. Crestline has the lead on first down. Steiger will keep the football, trying to get to the outside, and just got tripped up as he tried to turn the corner. I think Hipsher's a man who able to reach out there and flick the leg and kept him from really getting outside. But it does get it out to the 25-yard line, so 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5. This is WQEL Bucyrus, the first choice in North Central Ohio for sports. Jim Radke,
Jeff Roberts.
We're in North Robinson on a beautiful night. Much better than last week.
No doubt about that, especially for the people in the crowd.
Tim Greenick splits out to the left. There is a great crowd here tonight, by the way. You go back to the wishbone for Crawford, with Perkins being the up back in the wishbone. Steiger will keep the football himself. Now he does option it, almost optioned it too hard and almost threw it out of bounds. Andy Cochran was able to get control of it and does get maybe a 1-yard pickup. And we'll give him benefit of the doubt to the 26. That'll bring us up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, problem on that play right there was, when they did the fake handoff to Perkins, the ball was nowhere near him. They didn't, it was very obvious that Perkins was not going to get the ball on the fake handoff. So everybody was able to focus in on Steiger and Cochran, and they were going to the short side of the field, so everybody was pretty compact anyway. And like you said, it was a very quick pitch from Steiger that Cochran had a tough time getting a hold of.
In the eye this time, Crestline showing blitz. Back to throw is Steiger, and he's going to get hit and go down. Lost the football, but I believe Crawford does cover it back at the 18-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the play.
Yeah, Perkins right there able to get a hold of the football as it hit the ground. But that's the problem against this Crestline defense, is that, it's very difficult to do real drop back passes because, they blitz so many people. They'll only sit 4 guys back. They'll bring 7 guys at the quarterback consistently, if not even 8 at times. So you're going to have to get rid of the football very quick. Right there, he tried to do a 5-7 step drop and roll out, but he had guys all over him.
Ryan Schmidt gets the punt away. A nice kick this time. Going to go all the way back to the Crestline 35-yard line. Hatfield, or 45-yard line. Hatfield to midfield. There's a clip. And down goes Hatfield at the 40. Now a second flag. And we know the first one's a clip. We'll have to see what the second one is over there. Came right at about the time of the tackle.
Yeah, it was a big hit. I saw Hatfield go down to the ground real hard, but I'm not real quite sure if that was as a result of maybe a hold over there, another illegal block, or just because of the hit itself was illegal.
So the officials are all talking about it now. And the clip, there's 2 clips, They're able to climb the second clip and take the first clip because it came further back. We'll have a quiz on this later.
Yes.
Nice kick that time, and then the return would have taken it down to about the 42-yard line, but the clip will push it back inside the Crestline 35 because they will go back to the point of the foul. 6-0 Crestline leading. 8:31 left to go in the first half. And officials are walking it off now, and they will put it down at the 33-yard line.
That brings the ball all the way back.
Other high school, or not high school sports, but we do have a high school football game for you tomorrow morning here on the 92.7 Gold. It'll be a tape broadcast of St. Wendelin at Mohawk with Jeff Krause, and we'll give you the Ohio State Cleveland Browns information here in just a moment. First down for Crestline. They are in the tee. Ball goes to Friley, and did he lose it? Yeah. But Crestline, I think, fell back on it. And it will be just a 1-yard pickup. Other action this weekend, Saturday afternoon, we'll have the Ohio State-Penn State game for you at noon here on 92.7 Gold. And the Sunday afternoon at 12:30, the Cleveland Browns-Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Sunday night NFL football game, Washington and Arizona. That's a 7:30 kickoff. And, of course, a Monday night NFL football, 8:45, Dallas at the New York Giants. Second down and 10 for the Crestline Bulldogs, back on their own 33-yard line. No gain on that first down play. As Hoker will keep the football, drops back to throw, throws the long ball down the field, and overthrows Hatfield, who's looking back, pointing at the defender, wanting a flag, but the officials say there was nothing there.
Yeah, it was Adam Grau on the coverage there. Hatfield.
Oh, now a flag has gone down for
he's
somebody
going to get it from mouth and off to the ref, though. And Hatfield right there downfield, as he was going downfield, was having a tough time breaking away from Grau, and there was some contact going back and forth. And then, he was able to finally get away from him, but the ball was thrown so far downfield that Hatfield was not able to catch up to it.
There's another flag down here back behind the line of scrimmage. May have been a hold or perhaps a roughing call. Official's going to get it all explained now. And let's see what we got. We've got holding on Crestline, and then an unsportsmanlike contact on a dead ball. So, they get both of them?
Sportsmanlike conduct.
Well, let's see what they walk off here. I don't know if you get them both because of the dead ball.
I would think
you get them both because it's a dead ball foul.
Yeah, I mean.
There's the 10 yards for the hold. And
now he's going to walk off on top of it.
Yeah, going to walk off the other. Wow, that's a huge penalty. 15 and then about a half the distance. So 10. Wow. I'm telling you,
is
that a full 30 yards?
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah, because they were. Let's say the ball's at the 33. Yeah, it would be the full 30. So it'll be second down and 33. They've got up on the board there. We'll believe them. As Hoker is back to, he's going to hand the football off and getting to the outside and then finally going down. Nice run, but still going to be even short of the original first down marker, but got about half of it or so. And it was Friley.
Yeah, very strong run right there. Could have got 13 yards or so on the play. And, that's the one thing about it, though, is that, when you get into these long situations, generally speaking, you're going to give a quick handoff there because, you don't want to take a chance of throwing an interception so close to your own end zone. But when you can pick up 13 yards on a run, now it gives them a little bit more room to operate as they're in a second down and long.
Third down about 20 at the 23-yard line of Crestline. Hoker will go back to throw, fires the ball over the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. The receiver kind of stumbled going for it. intended for Justin Miller. Or check that, Joe Hipsher.
Hipsher's incomplete.
Goes incomplete. We'll bring up a 4th down, and Crestline for the first time tonight will punt the football.
Yeah, and that's why, those penalties are, so costly. I'm not really sure what John Hatfield said down there, obviously, but, he definitely was upset about the fact that, he thought he was being held coming off the line of scrimmage by Grau, and, he started telling the ref about it. Obviously, he said something he shouldn't have, and Crestline ended up way back in their own territory.
Goddard does the punting. It's a nice, what a beautiful kick and a drive. Grau back to his 25-yard line where he picks it up, gives Grau the 20, now back at the 25. He comes up to the 30-yard line. The flag has gone down, and Grau goes down at about the 32-yard line, but a flag across the field. And we may have a clip on Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, Colonel Crawford right there with Grau. He had some room because the kick was so far. I mean, he outkicked the coverage a little bit.
55 yards on the punt.
Yeah, exactly. He had some room to be able to run it upfield, but there was so many guys coming down for Crestline that instead of just going straight upfield and trying to get about 5 yards, he kind of started running sideline to sideline a little bit too much.
Well, the return brought it to the 33, but let's wait to see what the penalty is going to be. It's going to be on Colonel Crawford. And it was an illegal block. And the penalty piling up here.
Yeah, Eagle defense really doing a nice job keeping this team into the game, though. I mean, Crestline's offense is very strong. They're moving the ball at times very well, but yet they've really stepped it up, and they've only got 6 points on the board. Part of the problem is Crestline's kicking game has really been hurting them at this point in time.
6-0 Crestline, as Jeff indicated there. 7:18 left to go in the first half as Brandon Steiger brings them up to the line of scrimmage, goes with the I formation this time, and will keep the football, comes over the right side, but look how quickly Crestline got to them. I mean, there was a huge hole, and then Crestline just slammed the door shut after about a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, and that was Friley actually coming through on defense. Like you said, it seemed like a huge hole there, nobody at all, and all of a sudden the hole just closed up so quickly as Friley, dashed right through it and made a nice hit on Steiger, but still good positive yards on first down for Colonel Crawford.
2nd down and 8 for the Eagles. As Greenick comes to the near side, Dyer sits in the slot on the right with the eye backs, and the ball comes to Dyer, who is coming around, but Tracy is going to get knocked down back at the 20-yard line. Yeah, the whistle was blown, and then took a hard hit, but no flag by the official. It's the continuation of the play. Yeah, loss of 1.
They were a little bit late blowing the whistle on that play, and as a result, Friley just kept on him and kept on him. Dyer was trying to fight away. Finally, Friley picked them up in the air and slammed them down to the ground. That's going to stop you,
3rd down 7 for Colonel Crawford. They are 1 for 4 on the 3rd down so far. They're back at their own 21-yard line. They will split Greenick out to the left. Dyer comes to the right a couple of yards. Backs are in the eye. And then Dyer goes in motion. And Steiger to throw. They pick up the blitz. Steiger steps up. Now he picks the football up and gets tripped up and goes down at about the 24-yard line. Had a big opening there, but somebody just reached out and got him at the ankles.
Yeah, it was Joe Hipsher able to reach out there, and like you said, was able to just barely touch him at the ankles, and was able to trip him up just enough to knock him down to the ground. So Colonel Crawford gets forced into a punting situation again.
Brian Schmidt again does the kicking. And nice snap this time, and just does get the play. Another nice kick. Well, they're kicking the storm here. That fair catch is called for and taken by Hatfield back at the 45-yard line.
Hatfield calls for the fair catch.
About a 43-yard kick that time, no return.
45.
I guess it's a nice night for punting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, either that or you got great punters sitting in front of us because they are really booming some of those.
Crestline will be at their 45-yard line. Still 5:19 left to go in the first half. Just a 6-0 Crestline lead. The only score coming on Crestline's first possession when Jake Stoops went in from 54 yards out. It's a 6-0 ball game. As Hoker on first down will give the football to Friley. Friley given some ground, trying to get to the outside. Now he reverses himself a little bit and able to get a couple of yards, but there is a flag down.
Friley on the carry.
It's probably going to be a holding on the play, but I mean, still, that's what a run by Friley. He just took what would have been a 5-yard loss and made it into a 2-yard gain just by swinging around away from tacklers. And, obviously, making a couple guys miss and just using speed and strength. Great run there for Friley.
But it'll be a loss on the play because of the penalty. A flag down at the 39-yard line, or make it the 44-yard line. And that is going to put Crestline over 70 yards in penalties here in the first half.
Half of them on one play.
Yeah. We're up to 75 yards in penalties. As the ball will be brought back to the 34-yard line. So it'll bring up the first down. They get the down over.
All the way to
First down and
34-yard line.
21.
First down and about 21 for the Bulldogs.
As Hoker brings him up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to throw it here on first and long. They're setting up a screen play to the right side. It's going to be complete over there. Hoker took a hard hit afterwards, but a big play as we run up the far side of the field. That's going to be Kevin Phillips, who's into the ball game. And brings it all the way back to the 47-yard line, so pick up a 13 on the play.
That's a perfectly executed screenplay right there for Crestline, as they brought everybody through on the play. It was, Colonel Crawford's defense, had 5 guys coming at Hoker as fast as they could, but he was able to throw the ball at the perfect time, the last possible second. He, like you said, he took a pop on it, but was still able to get it out to Phillips, who had a couple blockers in front of him. Good, positive yardage there on first down.
Backs in the eye this time, and Friley will get the handoff, goes right through the crowd and right to midfield. It's 3 yards on the play, and Crestline will have a third and about 5. Crestline is 2 for 4 on the third down so far.
And the problem that this faces for Colonel Crawford's defense is that, Crestline's offense, with their ability to run the ball and throw the ball, with a couple of different running backs when you're talking about running the ball, when you're looking at 3rd and 5, you're still not quite sure where they're going to go with the football.
3:35 left to go in the second quarter now. Time is called as a Crawford player, I think, is, I don't know if it's equipment or...
Yeah, it looks like he's
tying a shoe, yeah. So the officials will stop the clock and let him do that. Now we're ready to go. Again, 3rd and 5 right at midfield. As Hoker brings him up to the line of scrimmage, has the backs in the eye, split wide receivers, going to give the ball to Josh Friley. Friley's hitting down in the backfield. Great play by Colonel Crawford's Mike Grove, as he came through untouched and almost got the handoff. Loss of 5 back to the 45, and Crestline will have to punt the ball away again.
Yeah, like you said, Grove got back there. He was looking at Friley the entire way. Like I said, it was one of those places you weren't quite sure if they were going to try to run the ball or throw the ball. But, Grove decided, I'm going at Friley one way or the other. He came through as fast as he could, and like you said, he was right there when the handoff was being made.
Goddard to kick, Grau back deep to receive for Colonel Crawford. There's the snap. Gets the kick away. Another booming punt. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line. Kind of slipped at ground. Now he goes to the 20 and staggers forward to almost the 25-yard line. It's about a 10-yard return on the punt.
Very positive, no doubt about it. As Grau right there does a nice job of moving the football down the field for him, for Colonel Crawford, giving them a little bit of room to operate here. And Colonel Crawford's got to feel pretty good right now. Despite the fact that Crestline has been able to move the ball offensively at times, they're still only down 6 points. Now, granted, part of that is Crestline's been shooting themselves in the foot with so many penalties. But, hey, you take it any way you can get it. They're still in the game right now, and they have shown at times that they've been able to move the ball offensively themselves.
Greenick comes to the receiver to the near side. They're in the wishbone on 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. The ball is given to the first back, probably Perkins, but we'll wait till they uncover everything. Nope, was not Perkins. It was John West, the ball carrier, and gets just 1 yard out to the 26-yard line. Crawford keeping that revolving back theory. Yeah, Steiger came to the sideline to get the play. Now he's back out there again. Greenick comes to this side. Crawford working left to right here in the second quarter. Just 2:08 to go till halftime. And Steiger wants to throw just that quick little pitch over to Steiger, but he's not able to get away from the defender that time, as John Hatfield did a nice job, and Steiger only gets 3 yards out of 29. And we'll bring up a third down and about 9 yards to go, and Crestline going to use a timeout defensively. So we have a timeout on the field with 1:48 to go till halftime. It's Crestline 6, Colonel Crawford nothing.
This is Denise Clady from Clady.
Yards a little bit more complicated for Colonel Crawford's, especially with the way Crestline blitzes the ball.
Quarterback sneak, and right up the middle went Brandon Steiger, but he only gets about 3 of the 5 yards they needed. And that will bring up a 4th down play. And is Crestline going to use a timeout? Yes, they will. The Bulldogs will call time again. So we step aside. 1:40 to go in the first half. Still Crestline 6, Colonel Crawford nothing.
very quickly, down the field, as long as they don't have penalties.
There's the snap, and they are coming for it, but they get the kick away. It's going to hit at the 40-yard line, take a nice Colonel Crawford roll, and that's what Crawford needed because Steiger had to stay, or Hatfield had to stay away from it, and finally Grau will down it back at the 27-yard line. Nice punt.
Yeah, absolutely, and a little fuel right there by Colonel Crawford as Adam Grau was going down to down the football. He had a Crestline defender blocking him. I think it was Matt Carroll, and he pretty much took Carroll and just threw him to the ground. So Colonel Crawford showing some emotion out there, playing very gutsy at this point.
So Crestline with a minute 28, one timeout left. They're leading it by 6. And they're back at their own 27-yard line. They go 3 wide receivers. First time we've seen this formation, just a lone running back behind Ben Hoker. And Hoker, though, will hand the football off. That is Friley. He's trying to get up the field, and Crawford has him wrapped up and brings him down at the 31-yard line. So does get 4 yards on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 6. Crestline will not use a timeout. Clock continues to run down to a minute 10.
About 6.
They're going to take their chances that if, even though they don't have a lot of time here, they're going to try to come up quickly and, just try to get a big play.
Backs are in the eye. Steiger again will hand the football off to Friley. He's trying to get outside of the sideline so he can step out, and he will take it up to the line and does get pushed out of bounds. He was almost gone. Yeah, he had one man to beat and takes it all the way down to the, I can say he stepped out right at midfield. So he gets 19 on the play.
And that was almost the big play that they were looking for as they were, not trying to do anything, spectacular. They're just seeing the fact that, when Friley touches the football, every time he touches it, there is an opportunity, for them to get a big, big gain downfield. The offensive line, did a good job pushing back the defensive line. He had a good 5 yards before he had to even do anything but run straight. And then, he just bounced it outside and took it upfield. Nice run.
Rui comes to the receiver to the near side, right at midfield. Backs are in the eye. As Hoker this time will be back to throw. He's going to get some pressure. He's running for his life. Fires the ball up the field. It'll go incomplete. And just threw it out of bounds.
Hoker's pass is incomplete.
With 42 seconds to go, and did the smart thing there.
Bulldogs.
Yeah, lots of pressure on him right there for Colonel Crawford. The defense really stepped up, and that was more of anything else, just coverage. I mean, the defensive backs did a great job downfield as Hoker had no place to throw the football.
42 seconds to go till halftime. It's now 2nd and 10 for Crestline from midfield. They split the receivers this time. Hatfield to the right. Rui comes down left. Backs are in the eye. And back to it's going to be the draw play to Friley. He gets to the outside. He's to the Crestline Crawford 40-yard line to the 35. He goes outside and runs out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. Another 20-yard pickup. Able to stop the clock as he gets out of bounds.
I think when he was coming over to the sideline, he had bounced it outside, and I think he was hoping that Rui, the wide receiver, was going to come up and make a block on the defensive back. But Rui kind of got caught looking at him. He was sitting back a little bit, and then he realized that Friley was coming right for him, had to step out of his way, so he didn't take down his own man.
34 seconds to go till the half. Crestline down to the Crawford 31-yard line. Again, they split the wides. Got to watch Jake Stoops. He's had a couple of big runs when everybody was keying on Friley. Back to throw is Hoker this time. He fires the ball for Hatfield. This time he's got it. Did he get it? No, he couldn't quite grab it. Again, Grau on the coverage. I'll say for a linebacker, Grau has been able to stay with Hatfield here all night, and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, he is running very well down the field. On that play, Hatfield actually had a little bit of room to be able to get the pass, but the pass was behind him. So he was trying to reach back, trying to make a one-handed grab there. Wasn't able to pull it down.
2nd and 10 from the Crawford 31-yard line with 27 seconds to go. Crestline does have a timeout left. They will send receivers out to the right this time as Jeff Stifler goes out that way. Back to throw is Hatfield. He's going to get some pressure, but he's able to get away from the one defender. Now he's got some more people looking for him. He fires the ball again deep, and again it will be overthrown and out of bounds. Hatfield was the man he was throwing it to, but again running for his life. Initial pressure was put on by Ryan Armbruster and brings up a 3rd down with 17 seconds to go. Crestline 2 for 5 on the 3rd down conversions tonight, leading 6-0 as we get close to halftime, and we'll be back for the halftime band shows here in North Robinson. Rui will split to the right. Hatfield comes down left. Backs are in the eye, and a 3rd and 10. And Hoker will come back to throw. He's going to roll out. He fires the ball over the middle and incomplete. It was intended for Joe Hipscher.
Hoker's pass, 10 to Hipscher's.
And brings up fourth down. Crestline will probably go for it. Just 12 seconds to go till the half. They do have that timeout left. They have not attempted a fourth down play yet tonight.
And there's this piece of me that thinks that, maybe they're just going to give it to Friley, realizing that, you're going to run down the clock with, him carrying the football anyway. And he's been just, a tackle away from breaking several open. So a 31-yard touchdown run is not out of the realm of possibility.
Backs are in the eye. They're keeping the ends tight. And back to throw, though, is Hoker. He's looking for the touchdown in the corner. He's got Moyer, and he's got the touchdown. Oh, yep, they're going to say he is in.
Hatfield's in.
Hatfield's in, yep. Caught it in the corner of the end zone. Well, it crossed everybody up. Everybody looking, I think, for the run that time, and the pass is complete. And it's a 12-0 game as John Hatfield catches his first touchdown pass of the night.
Yeah, the thing that was so nice about what they did on that play is, you see, on the few plays before that, they'd been splitting several receivers out, so they were pretty much, saying, hey, well, we're going to throw the football. That time, they brought everybody in, went back to their standard formation, only one guy sitting outside for Crestline as far as offensively goes, and as a result, when they went through the pass play, everybody was a little bit surprised. They thought the run was coming, ends up getting a big-time pass play for a touchdown.
Crestline going to take a timeout to talk about a two-point conversion attempt. We'll step aside. It's now Crestline 12, Colonel Crawford nothing. The lone running back is Friley as they split the two wide receivers, and now Colonel Crawford is going to take a timeout to talk about it. So we'll take time again with 5 seconds to go till the half. It's still Crestline 12, Colonel Crawford nothing. Crawford finally breaks the defensive huddle and ball down at the 2-yard line for the extra point attempt. Same formation that Crestline had with Friley the lone running back. Rui and Hatfield are split wide receivers. And Hoker now will reach under center. He drops back to throw, going to get some pressure hit as he fires, and it's going to be complete in the end zone to Rui for the two-point conversion. So we have a timeout on the field after the conversion. It's now Crestline Bulldogs 14, Colonel Crawford Eagles nothing.
Brand new at our
in favor of Crestline with 5 seconds to go till the half, and that's a big score there.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth, Jim. I mean, that was a monster touchdown for Crestline. Going with 2 touchdowns, and that's got to break the will a little bit of Colonel Crawford.
Squib kick. It's picked up at about the 34-yard line by Perkins. He's back to the 40, and we'll go down at about the 42-yard line, and that'll end the first half here as it took them over 5 seconds to make the return. So we've played half a football game tonight in North Robinson. The halftime score, Crestline 14, Colonel Crawford nothing. We'll be back with the halftime band shows right after this.
You're tuned to high school football on 92.7 Gold WQEL, being brought to you by
In the first quarter, 7:28 with the six-play, 71-yard drive. Jake Stoops scored from 54 yards out, made it 6-0. And with 5 seconds to go in the half, Hoker and Hatfield got together from 31 yards out, added a 2-point conversion for a 14-0 halftime lead. Have to re-kick it on the kickoff. There's an offside, so I can let you tell you that the 2-point conversion was a Hoker to Rui pass, and it's 14-0 here at as we start the second half.
Yeah, I think it was Grau on the end that got a little bit ahead of himself there as the kickoff wasn't quite up in the air yet. He was over the past 40-yard line, so they'll go back 5 yards and have to kick again.
Colonel Crawford's been penalized now 5 times for 55 yards. Crestline 4 times for 75 yards in the first half.
And that's really what's hurt them. I mean, if you want to call it hurt, I mean, they're up 2 touchdowns, but still, I mean, they would probably even have a bigger lead than that if it wasn't for those penalties.
So we're going to do the kickoff again, as Mike Grove again has it teed up, and once again he will bluff the onside kick. He's got to be careful that someday he doesn't accidentally kick that when he's not supposed to.
Yep. I'd like to extend it out like that.
Yeah, now we're ready to go.
Creative.
Now we're ready to go if we can stay on sides this time. And there is the kick, and he boots it about the 25-yard line. Ball is bobbled, and Crestline will have to dive for it, and they do recover it. Haven't had any turnovers in the ball game, but there have been a couple of fumbles, and Crestline will start at their 36-yard line. The Bulldogs ran 29 plays in the first half, had 8 first downs. Again, the 4 penalties for 75 yards. They were 3 of 6 on third downs, 0 for 1 on a fourth down conversion. And starting at their own 36-yard line, leading 14-0. As Ben Hoker brings them up to the line of scrimmage. As Stoops and Hatfield in the eye behind him. Or check that as Friley gets the handoff. And Friley will get across the 36, maybe the 37. We will give him a 1-yard pickup, so it's 2nd down and 9.
I think the telltale of that first half, Jim, is what you said right there. I had them for 215 total yards, and you said they ran 29 plays.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at right there, bad math in my head, 7-8 yards a pop right there. I mean, when you're looking at that, as on a game percentage right there, you're doing very well.
Split the wide receivers on 2nd down and 9. Still backs in the eye, and the ball will be given to Friley, and this time Crawford is ready for him, and they will drop him back to the 30-yard line, 7-yard loss.
A very slow developing play right there, and I think that was intentionally done. They, wanted to try to just, give a lazy handoff to Friley, make the Colonel Crawford defense think that he wasn't getting the football, but they were not fooled at all. By the time he did get the ball, they were sitting right in his lap.
3rd and 16 from the 31-yard line. They'll keep the backs in the T this time, split the wide receivers. And Hoker will throw the quick pitch over the middle. It's going to be complete, and they will be short of the first down over to the 41-yard line. We'll have to wait till they turn it. It's going to be Joe Hipsher finally catches a pass. Had some tough luck in the first half with a couple of pit balls thrown his way. Gets it out to the 40-yard line, so it does get 9 yards on the pass play, but Crestline will have to kick it away. Jason Goddard does the punting as well. Got a 55-yarder away in the first half, and Grau back at his 15-yard line. Nice snap. I think he was going to run with it, and he bobbles the ball. Now he will kick it away. And a fair catch. I don't know why is called for at the 26-yard line. Nobody around Andy Cochran.
Yeah, good 15 yards there to run. But, I think what might have happened is he might have come up a little bit as to, he might have been expecting that run. He might have saw that fake run a little bit, like you said, so he started coming up. And then when the ball got dropped and he ended up punting it away, I think he might have been his bearings might have been a little bit off, so he fair caught it.
So Colonel Crawford down by 2 touchdowns, starts at their 26-yard line as Brandon Steiger brings them up to the line of scrimmage. They'll start the second half in the wishbone. Greenick splits as a receiver to the near side. Perkins the up back in the bone. And he gets the handoff, goes up the middle, and it's about 3 yards or so. A whole bunch of Crestline Bulldogs in to make the tackle. And wait till they pilot to make sure it was Perkins. And no, it's going to be
John West.
John West, yeah. The ball carrier.
Yeah, and those are the two guys that play from that up-back, full-back position in the wishbone for them. So they kind of flip back and forth. One drive, it's going to be Perkins. Next one is going to be West.
2nd down and 8 as they get it out to the 28-yard line. They shift the tight end to the opposite side of the line. Steiger will keep the football this time and not going to be able to make the pitch as he was wrapped up by a couple of Crestline Bulldogs. Stop were Phillips and Gledhill both in there, and Steiger staggers up, and he may have to come out for a play or two.
He's kind of limping off a little bit. What happened was he had one defender who got a piece of his jersey, was kind of holding on to him, and as he was slowly but surely coming down, another Bulldog came over and gave him a good lick.
He will stay in there. Colonel Crawford ran just 22 plays in the first half with only 2 first downs. They were 1 for 6 on the third downs, 0 for 1 on fourth downs. And they've got a 3rd and 8 here. They send Greenick way out to the left, the wide side of the field. Backs in the eye this time. Grau goes in motion. And back to throw is Steiger on that gimpy ankle. He steps up. He's got nowhere to go, and he will go down back at the 25-yard line. And they lose 3 yards on the play. And they will have to go 3 and out.
Yeah, no place for Steiger to go there. Is once again the Crestline Bulldog defense. They brought about 6 or 7 guys on that play, and the pocket collapsed on him very quickly, so he tried to just run out of it, but there was nowhere to run either. I mean, Crestline wraps him up, gets a sack on him.
Ryan Schmidt to kick the ball away. He got some good punts away in the first half. Going to get another nice one away. Hatfield has to let it hit at the 35-yard line. Picks it up at the 40. Gets outside of the tackler. Falls down. He's to midfield. The Crawford 45. And goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Again, he takes a hard hit on that far side. But a nice return out back to the 40-yard line, and Crestline will start in Colonel Crawford territory.
Yeah, good speed right there by John Hatfield. He kind of took a chance because the ball bounced, but it bounced right up to him, so he decided to field it and go with it. And, he took off, and like you said, first defender, he slipped and fell as he tried to make the tackle, and he used good wheels getting around the outside, getting him into good field position for Crestline on this offensive drive.
They will start right the Crawford 40-yard line as they are eagerly up to the line of scrimmage with Ben Hoker leading at 14-0, trying to stay undefeated in the NCC. In motion will come Hatfield, and Hoker will pitch the football back to Friley. Friley gets the 40-yard line, turns it upfield 35, and gets bumped out of bounds in front of the Crawford bench. Down to the 34-yard line, so he picks up 6 yards on the play, and will bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Good run there once again for Friley. Just keep stretching it out until you can make a turn around the end, and he just did just that and got a good block in front of him. Was able to turn it around until he was pushed out of bounds.
Crestline brings a pair of receivers to the near side, and the backs are in the eye. On a 2nd down and 4, 7:50 left to go on the first. The ball is bobbled on the snap, and the pitch comes to Friley. He gives some ground. He's being pursued. He will reverse his field, comes back this way, gives even more ground, and now he's got a wide open. He's at the 35, he's at the 30, 25, 20, and gets bumped out of bounds by Tracy Dyer. Big, good piece of running there as he had 6 Eagles around him at one time and still able to break the tackles, and ends up getting a first down for Crestline down to the 18-yard line, so he ends up picking 16 yards on the play.
Well, all those Colonel Crawford defenders were sitting in front of him. None of them were really able to get a good hand on him. So like you said, when he was able to turn his field back the other way, the Crestline blockers were sitting there, because they had been out of the play originally. All of a sudden, they came back into it, made the blocks, sprung Friley around the other end, and then he had a couple blocks downfield as well. So a good run right there for the first down.
Rui splits out to the right, Hatfield down left. Ball is bobbled on the snap. It's loose, and Colonel Crawford saying they got it. Yeah, and so do the officials.
Yeah.
There's a first turnover of the ball game.
Yeah, that was 2 plays in a row, actually, that Hoker had a tough time getting the ball on the snap. The first time, though, he was able to hold on to the football and pitch it out to Friley for the big 16-yard gain, but that time it just dropped right to the ground, and Colonel Crawford's defensive lineman was able to drop on top of it.
Crawford will start at their own 17-yard line, so they're able to get the first turnover and see if they can turn in the points now. Trailing 14-0, 7:34 left to play in this third period. This is WQEL Bucyrus, the first choice in North Central Ohio for sports. Jim Radke,
Jeff Roberts,
Brandon Steiger under center for Colonel Crawford. On first down, he hands the football off, and going nowhere is, I believe, going to be either Cochran.
I think it was West.
Or West again?
Yeah.
West on carry.
And that will be West, the ball carrier, brings up a 2nd down, and no gain on the play, so a 2nd down and 10. And maybe got a yard, so call it 2nd down and 9.
2nd down and 9 for the Eagles.
Still Crestline's defense doing a nice job, kind of sitting back waiting for Colonel Crawford to run that football, daring them to try to pass it, but nowhere to go.
Grau and Greenick come to the near side. Colonel Crawford working left to right here in the third period. Steiger still with the football, pitches it. It comes up on one bounce to the second back through, breaking tackles and getting some good running yardage. Is going to be Mike Grove. Had a short hop it, like a shortstop, and may have gotten a first down with it. He did. That's just the 3rd first down of the night for Colonel Crawford.
And I really believe that the fact that pitch came a little bit short to him actually helped him out as far as the defense goes, because they attacked a little bit too fast, and he was able to slip around a couple of defenders, and like you said, broke a couple tackles and got a good run, probably the best one of the day for Colonel Crawford.
From a 28-yard line, Colonel Crawford, Dyer goes in motion, and the football is kept by Steiger, but he's going to get some pressure, and he runs right into a Crestline defender. Somebody missed a block over there, and he turned right into him and lost back to the 21-yard line, so a 7-yard brings up a 2nd down and 17.
That's a tough play there for both Steiger and the blocker, because the play was supposed to roll out to that roll out to Steiger's left, but the Colonel Crawford blocker had a couple of guys there that he was trying to block off, and he ended up losing control of one of them, and Bulldogs able to make a nice sack. Now Colonel Crawford in a 2nd and long.
They're back on their own 23-yard line as Steiger will reach under center. They go back to the wishbone formation. And Steiger will keep the football. He now pitches it back to Dyer, who was trailing. Tracy breaks a couple of tackles, but he gets knocked down at the 25-yard line, so pickup of just 4 on the play.
Dyer on the carry.
And Crawford will be faced with another 3rd and long.
Well, it's not quite to the extent of the game that we saw Crestline playing last time, the Ontario game. I mean, there's still continued. I mean, this team hits very hard defensively, and that was another good lick right there on Dyer as he kind of swung around. It was sitting backwards, and Friley came through and gave him another wallop. I mean, this team comes through at full force and looks to make a pop every time somebody's got the football.
High backs this time on 3rd and 12 with Greenick, the wide receiver, back to throw is Steiger. He's got some time, fires the ball over the middle. It was tipped by a Crestline linebacker. Might have been Joe Hipsher. Got either Hipsher or Friley got a hand on it and disrupted the pass. It'll bring up 4th down, and Colonel Crawford will have to punt it away. 14-0. Colonel Crawford trails. Crestline with a 1st and 2nd quarter touchdown. And there's 5:03 to go in the period. Schmidt back to punt the ball. It's a nice snap, not much of a rush. Gets another nice kick away. Fair catch is called for and taken by John Hatfield back at the 38-yard line.
Jim, I mean, as we're watching this game, I think we're seeing kind of the importance of that 2nd touchdown that Crestline got here. Because, as far as Colonel Crawford's offense goes, I mean, they might be able to break open a play, or a mistake happens for Crestline, that they might be able to get a touchdown into the end zone at some point in time. But, with this offense going against, Crestline's tough defense, getting 2 scores on the board is going to be very difficult for the Eagles, and I think that's why that 2nd touchdown is so big for the Bulldogs at the end of the first half.
Crestline splits the wide receivers on 1st down, back to throw is Hatfield. He's firing the ball down the field, and it's going to be overthrown. Oh, that came a little bit closer than I thought it was. Didn't think Hatfield had a chance at it, but just beyond his fingertips as he dove for it. It was a little late bump, but no flag.
Yeah. It was Cochran and Grout there guarding Hatfield. Hatfield was able to slip in between them, and it looked like one of the 2 Colonel Crawford defenders might have grabbed a little bit of a jersey there to hold him back from being able to reach out and grab that ball, but nothing called, so it didn't happen as far as I'm concerned.
Crestline splits receivers with Jeff Stifler coming to the near side, and he goes in motion. On a 2nd down and 10, ball will be pitched to Friley. He's rolling to the outside, still trying to find something. Crawford does a pretty nice job of closing it, but Friley will still get about 5 yards off it. I don't know if it might have been an option pass, because it almost looked like he was going to pull the ball up and throw it, but...
Yeah, when they run those sweep plays, Jim, I mean, he's really running to sideline to sideline, until he can try to find something. And Colonel Crawford's doing a nice job stringing them out as far as they can go, but then, right as he gets close to that sideline, they kind of back off a little bit, and he's able to take off down the sideline and pick up positive yardage.
Plus with a 3rd and 4. As they keep with 3 wide receivers to this near side, and the pass is going to be incomplete. And they are going to say it was a forward pass, so it'll be incomplete, intended over here for Hatfield again. Looked like there was a little confusion as far as Crestline was concerned.
And also a great play by Justin Miller for Colonel Crawford. He made a quick step up on that play defensively and was able to get up there and knock that ball down.
Okay, the reason there was confusion, there was a flag on the play, and I don't know if it came before the snap or not. They're talking to Crawford. They will decline it if it came afterwards. Or motion penalty, and they will decline it, so it'll bring up a 4th down. And 4 yards to go, so again, the Crestline has been 3 and out all 3 of their possessions here in the 2nd half. Leading it, though, 14-0. And we're down 4:31, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, my fault. But, I mean, Colonel Crawford's defense is really stepping it up and doing a nice job. It's not because of, Crestline's, not executing or anything like that. I mean, just Colonel Crawford is really hitting the holes very quickly, and defensively, they realize that they're going to have to pitch a shutout in the 2nd half if they're going to have any chance of getting this game.
Goddard gets another booming spiral away. Grau from the 6-yard line lost the football. It's rolling loose, and they will pick it up back at the 10, and he's going to go down at about the 9 or 10-yard line they'll give him. He was trying to make a running catch to get some momentum going and just overran it.
That's exactly what happened, Jim, is, he was trying to, catch the ball on the run. And, I think he started running before he really got a good handle on the football, was really looking upfield. Again, the punt was so good, he's kind of out-kicking the coverage a little bit, and he saw Grau did. He saw a lot of running room there, so he kind of tried to take off. And it was before he had the football, so it just slipped right through his hands.
About another 40-yard punt that time. So Colonel Crawford, 4:18 to go in the third quarter, trailing 14-0. We'll start in the hole at their own 10-yard line. Rayburn switches sides on the end position. The ball is handed off to the first back through. Perkins back in there, and he will get it out to maybe the 12-yard line. Second down and 8.
Short gain. Bring up second down in about 8.
Davy Jones will have the scores of all the games on phone board coming up when we are done here this evening.
Yeah, a couple close ones there, what we heard on the halftime scores.
Week number 8 already of the high school football season, so teams beginning to jockey for position for the postseason.
Yep.
Wishbone formation for Colonel Crawford with Perkins the up back, and he will not get the handoff as Tracy Dyer gets outside. Or check it, it's not Dyer, there's going to be Mike Grove. And Grove will be very close to the first down, but about a yard short, so going up a 3rd and 1 as he does get a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, Grove's actually getting some good running room the last 2 times he's touched the football, and he's really doing a nice job hitting the hole as quickly as possible and dragging a couple guys with him for extra yardage.
We'll bring up a 3rd down at about 1. Colonel Crawford is now 1 for 8 on the 3rd down conversions. Greenick splits out to the left. Again, the wishbone. Behind Steiger, Brandon will give the football off, and they're not going to get the first down, as hit immediately is going to be Grove. So Brandon will lose a couple of yards back to the 16-yard line, loss of 3, and brings up a 4th down, and Colonel Crawford will punt for the 3rd time here in the second half.
You can kind of see that play coming, Jim, because, Crestline's defense, they brought 8 guys up on the line of scrimmage, and then the 3 other guys, one was sitting outside with the receiver, but the 2 other guys who were sitting back were only 1 yard off the line of scrimmage.
Well, Colonel Crawford, I don't think has enough people out there in the field, so they'll have to take a timeout here with 2:33 left to go in the 3rd period. We step aside ourselves. Remains Crestline 14 and Colonel Crawford nothing. Yeah, this year, instead of usually get 2 weeks, and that's the state working its best. Back
that's right.
to Schmidt from about his 5-yard line. Did get the ball away. No contact was made. It'll take a Colonel Crawford run, kind of a sideways roll. It does go a little bit Colonel Crawford's favor, but Crestline again will start in Colonel Crawford territory. And looks like it'll be at the Eagles' 46-yard line.
Interesting thing about that punt there is Jake Stoops for Crestline, who was actually downfield blocking. He had been blocking, let his man go, who went to the original punt returner, and the ball came down right by him. He actually, if he wanted to pick it up and start running, he had some room to go, but I think he's been told by Coach, no matter what happens, do not touch that football, because he backed away from it like it was glowing.
Hoker brings it up to the line of scrimmage. Backs are in the eye. Ball is going to be handed off to Friley. He's got a big hole. He's the 40-yard line, and he'll get banged down there after a nice pickup of about 6 yards. And brings up a 2nd down and 4. Just a little over 2 minutes left to play in the 3rd period.
Bring out 2nd down and 4 for the Bulldogs.
Crestline will bring Hatfield to the near side. Rui splits out to the right. The backs are in the eye. And the ball goes the first man through Stoops. So Friley's got to like that play because he doesn't even move.
Yeah, oh yeah, he did. He stood there. I mean, make no mistake about it. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't try to fake anywhere. I mean, he's been out there. He plays pretty much every down, and obviously offensively, I mean, he touches the ball almost every play. I mean, I'd say it's probably 70% of the time he's getting the football. So, he deserves a rest off once in a while.
Brings up a 3rd down and 2 as he gets it down to the 38-yard line. And split the wides again. This time Friley does get the handoff, and he's got the first down as he just takes the pile and moves it down to the 34-yard line. So another 4-yard gain.
Riley on the carry gets the first down.
It'll be the 10th first down in the ball game for Crestline, only their 2nd in the second half.
First down 10, Crestline on the Eagles.
And they're at the Colonel Crawford 34-yard line about, where they have a first down. Just a minute 5 to go till the quarter break. As Hoker will hand the football off. This time Friley gets hit right away, but still able to fall forward for a couple of yards. He got hit initially by Roger Perkins.
Brings up second down and 9.
It kind of goes to show what Friley's strength is, because I mean he got hit low too. I mean probably around the waist, maybe even a little bit lower, but somehow was able to keep his momentum going forward. Fell forward and ended up getting a 1-yard gain instead of a 1-yard loss.
Second down and 9. At the Crawford 34, ball is kept by Hoker. He's got plenty of time. He fires the ball down the field. It's going to be intercepted by Tracy Dyer at the 10-yard line. He's coming back upfield. He's the 20. Far sideline 25-30, weaving his way up 35. He's at the 40-yard line, and he will go down. There's a flag down, though, back at about the 30. So we may have to bring it back due to a clip. But there's a second turnover on Crestline, first interception.
Flag on the play.
But Tracy Dyer picking off Ben Hoker.
Yeah, actually the receiver, I think it was Hipsher, was actually open on the play. Had a step on Dyer downfield, but Hoker underthrew the pass, and Dyer did a nice job closing in on the football, stepped right in front of it, made a big interception.
Will be a clip on the return. It came at about the 31-yard line, so instead of having the football at about the 40, Crawford will be back around their 16 or so by the time they march it out, but they do have the football. Trailing 14-0, just 12 seconds to go in the third period. And they are marching it off. Colonel Crawford now up to 70 yards in penalties. This is the most penalized game we have done this year.
Yeah, both teams playing a little bit sloppy as far as that goes, and a lot of that comes to do with emotion. Close games, and for Crestline, I think there was this piece of them that thought that they should be able to go in this game and walk all over Colonel Crawford. But the Eagle defense has really stepped up, made some nice plays, and of course, then there's just been your basic stupid plays that you get in a lot of games too.
So first and 10 for Crawford from their own 16-yard line as Brandon Steiger again comes up to the line. They're in the I formation on first down with a wing to the right. Ball is kept by Steiger. He ducks in over the guard and gets it out to maybe the 21-yard line. So pick up a 5 on the play, and that more than likely will be the final play of the third period. It is scoreless in the third period, but our score stands Colonel Crawford trailing. It's Crestline 14, Colonel Crawford nothing after 3 periods.
Going here offensively.
Crawford comes out of the bench, goes right into formation. They don't huddle up, but there's a miscue on the handoff. Now a flag goes down, or on the snap. And we're going to have a motion penalty on Colonel Crawford, so maybe they should have huddled up.
Yeah.
Procedure on Crawford.
They're up to 75 yards in penalties. So it'll move it back to the 16-yard line again, and get a second down and 10, so wipe out that first down play.
Second down and about 9 for the Eagles.
So Steiger comes back to the line of scrimmage. Greenick will go to the right. Crawford now going right to left. Backs are in the I as they put a man in motion. And the ball is kept by Steiger, rolls to the outside, gets some time, and he's going to throw it right into the hands of a Crestline defender. And Crestline going to have excellent field position at about the 12-yard line. It might have been Hoker. Stoops. Okay, it was Stoops on the interception. Thank you.
Steiger's pass picked off by Stoops.
First turnover on Colonel Crawford, but the difference here is that Crestline gets the ball at the Crawford 12-yard line.
Yeah, it's a killer turnover there for the Eagles. And what happened was Steiger was looking downfield, had a receiver open, but he was so concentrating on downfield, about 10 yards downfield, that when he threw the pass, he didn't see that Stoops was standing about 5 yards away from him, threw it right into his arms.
So Hoker brings him up to the line of scrimmage. They go with the I backs, with Friley being the up back. Hoker goes in motion. Or Hatfield, excuse me, goes in motion. Ball is pitched to Friley, sweeps to the outside. He gets bumped out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. We'll pick up a 5 on the play, second down and 5.
Another strong run there by Friley, getting around the outside, going to the short side of the field there. They string him out and they string him out, but he just slowly starts creeping forward, and all of a sudden, before you know it, he's downfield 4 yards and nobody's touched him yet.
Only a sophomore, so he'll be back for one more. Rui splits out to the left, and Hatfield comes right. Hoker has the backs in the eye with Stoops and Friley. Now Hoker goes in motion from right to left. Ball is pitched to Friley. He's coming to this side. He's going to get strung out nicely. Crawford able to turn him. He tried to cut back, and just too many Colonel Crawford Eagles there this time, and he'll get back maybe. Might have lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, Colonel Crawford did a great job there stringing them out. And, I think it was Grove who was the one that stayed with Friley the entire time, despite the presence of a couple of Bulldog blockers in front of him. He wouldn't let him take him off the play. Got an initial hand on Friley. He wasn't able to drag him down, but by the time Friley was able to get away from him, other Eagle defenders able to go up and make the stop.
3rd and 6 from about the 8-yard line. As again, back to throw is Hoker. He's got Hatfield in the corner, Rui in the corner, and just overthrew him. Had him wide open, but just extended him a little bit too much, and I think we got a leg cramp.
Absolutely, yeah. He's down on the ground, just grabbing that like he's trying to get up, but just not going anywhere at this point in time. Dyer on the play defensively was totally taken in, but Rui did a little fake inside, and then a little shimmy, and then took it on the out pattern, going right to the corner of the end zone, and he had nothing, but grain land sitting right there, and a lot of room to actually run. But like you said, Hoker actually ends up overthrowing him.
Well, the cramp gives Goddard a chance to set up for a 29-yard field goal, and officials are going to call a timeout now. So we're working on the cramp. We'll take a time with 10:57 left to play in the ball game. It is Crestline 14, Colonel Crawford at nothing.
Did you? Anyway.
4th and 6 from the 7-yard line. And back to throw. Flag goes down. The ball going for the corner. Another flag is down. The ball will be caught by Hatfield. But now let's sort out all the different penalty flags we have down here. We've got 2 of them thrown at opposite ends of the field.
The one looks like, on a holding, possibly, right by the...
Yeah, that's going to be holding, yeah.
Now to get Crestline.
And then they both saw it, and the one just got his flag out a little bit late. So take away the touchdown.
That was a great pass from Hoker right there. Put it right in Hatfield's hand, as he actually did the exact same pattern.
Procedure.
Procedure is going to be the second one.
That was the only call. Was
yeah.
Procedure,
okay. Yeah. And then, but what happened? Hatfield just does the exact same pattern that they ran on the play before that with Rui, but he wasn't able to. As he slipped away from the defender that time, it was Hoker putting it right into his arms, but still nothing going though as you get the penalty.
Now it's 4th and 12 from the 13-yard line. They will again go for it. Backs in the eye, split wide receivers. And back to throw is Hoker. He's firing over the middle. Oh, he fired a bullet that time. Perfect touchdown to Hatfield. Second time tonight. That was a lightning bolt.
And what a catch by Hatfield. Extending out, he'd gotten away from the defender. He actually had 2 guys defending him, the safety and the cornerback. He slipped right in between them and then just reached out and stretched it right into his hands. Great pass from Hoker and a perfect touchdown to Hatfield.
13 yards on the touchdown pass. Goddard in to attempt the point after. With Hoker the holder. There, Hatfield, there's a snap. The kick is up, and this one is going to be through the upright. We've got a timeout. 10:44 left to play. It is now Crestline 21 and Colonel Crawford at nothing.
If you're ready, defense for the Eagles is still doing a nice job. I mean, you can't expect them on. They had to drive 20 yards there, not even.
Ball is kicked off. It'll be taken at about the 18-yard line, back at 25, 30, 35. It's going to be Justin Miller on the return. And he will bring it out to the 32-yard line. It's about a 10-yard return, or it's a 20-yard return. Colonel Crawford still looking for some points. Down now 21-0. And they've got 10:36 left. They have just 1 first down in the second half, only 3 in the ball game.
The Bulldog defense has really stepped it up here in the second half. At least in the first half, it looked like the Eagles would occasionally get some positive yardage, but this half just not really going anywhere for them.
On first down, Steiger will keep the football as he comes to this side, gets the 35-yard line, cuts back the 40, gets twisted around, and he's still struggling, able to stretch it out to about the 41, so he gets 9 yards on the play. One of the better offensive plays.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. You see, that's a good job of running the option right there, as he did a nice job on the fake handoff. So a lot of the Bulldog defenders stepped up to try to, go on John West, who was the fullback who had the fake. A lot of guys drew to him, and then they came around the outside. Steiger ended up keeping the ball as he saw the hole develop and gets good positive yardage moving downfield. One of the best carries of the game again.
Second down and not quite 2. As Steiger again will reach under. He's going to roll to the outside. He's going to fire the ball down the sidelines. Underthrown for Greenick and not able to get it. And there was a lot of pushing and shoving, but the ball was well underthrown.
Absolutely, you give Greenick some
almost
credit
got on the
there.
ground, yeah.
I'm telling you, not only did, he almost got away with a push-off there. Well, I mean, he did get away with the push-off. I mean, just get himself a little bit free. But then, Hatfield ended up kind of holding on to him. They both fell down to the ground, but he never gave up, almost reached out and was able to grab the ball. But the refs kind of letting him play out there as far as the pushing and shoving goes on the passes. It's just, the procedures and stuff, the procedure penalties.
Enough other penalties, yeah.
Exactly.
So third down for Crawford. They are now 1 for 9 on third down conversions. A sneak, but the ball is fumbled on the snap. Crawford will recover it, but they're going to lose ground on it. There's another flag down on the far side.
Bring up 4th down and 5 for the Eagles.
And they're going to have to sort it all out. It was a loss back to the 38-yard line, so it would be a loss of 3 on the play. And it will be procedure on Colonel Crawford. Crestline, of course, will refuse it, I should say, or confuse it.
Yeah, whichever.
And they'll punt it away again. Colonel Crawford's had 5 possessions here in the second half. 3 have been 3 and out. 1 was a 5-play, and then the 2-play drive of the interception. So they've not been able to get anything going offensively.
Yeah, I saw the Bulldog team, much of it at halftime, and they seemed very confident and had no doubt in their mind that they had this game well in hand, despite the fact that they were only up by 2 touchdowns.
Ryan Schmidt gets a floating snap, and he's going to have to do something with it. He's going to try to run to the near sideline. He's got the first down. He's in the midfield. 45, head down, and struggles forward to the 40-yard line. I think that was a fake all the way. And he will end up getting 19 yards and a big Eagle first down.
Yeah, there was tons of running room right there. What he did a nice job after he caught the football. He gave a little bit of a hesitation like he was going to punt the ball, and then he took off running, came along the left side where there was a lot of running room for him, and big first down for the Eagles.
They're down to the Crestline 40-yard line trying to get something going here in the fourth period. Just 9:08 left to play. They're trailing 21-0. They go back to the wishbone here on first down. Ball is given to the third back through. That's going to be Cochran, excuse me. And Cochran will only get a yard to the 39.
Short game.
Second down and 9 yards to go.
Still the running room there for Colonel Crawford has been tough. I mean, not a whole lot of holes opening up there by the Eagle offensive line. As the Bulldogs, they just bring so many people on every play because they're pretty much hitting the holes. They're always out on the blitz almost every play because they're pretty much willing to say, hey, we're going to bring 8 guys up whether you're passing or running. Doesn't really matter because we have that much confidence in our defensive backs.
In the I formation, Dyer goes in motion. And Steiger wants to throw the football, gets a nice block, but then there's nothing open upfield, and he will go down. Lost back to the 43-yard line, so a loss of 4 on the play. Initially, they picked up the first blitzing man through, but there was nothing open upfield.
Bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Eagles.
And they're going to bring up the 3rd down and long for Colonel Crawford. Colonel Crawford is now 1 for 10 on the 3rd down. Timeout is being taken by the Colonel Crawford Eagles. So we have a timeout on the field. 7:52 left to play in the ball game. It's Crestline Bulldogs 21, Colonel Crawford Eagles nothing.
At PPG, employees...
They're scrappy, and they're not going to give up on you. You know that much. But they've come out there and they've done the job here tonight.
Dyer comes in motion, and Steiger wants to throw again. The blitz is on. They set up the screen pass on the right side. Good call. Wide open field ahead of the running back, and big first down. I think Rayburn was the receiver over there. Rittenauer, excuse me. And down to the 25-yard line, so a big 18-yard pickup. So Colonel Crawford using a little razzle-dazzle.
Absolutely, but that's how you get away from, kind of take advantage of a team when they're going to blitz you that much. They're all going to get through the line of scrimmage like that. You might as well just try to throw something. Either you're going to have to dump those passes off quick or try to throw the screen plays and get behind them.
1st and 10 from the Crestline 25-yard line. Dyer in motion. Ball is again kept by Steiger. Now he throws the ball over the middle and just over the hands of the intended receiver. Again, Rittenauer.
Steiger's pass to Rittenauer is incomplete.
Kind of looked like he was going to run, then he stopped just about at the line of scrimmage, and Benow was the intended receiver that time.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, he was under a lot of pressure back there. Once again, did about a 5-step drop. Everybody collapsed in on him. Looked like he was, definitely was going to run the football, but then he looked downfield and was, like you said, saw Benow actually opening up, so he tried to throw one real quickly, ended up overshooting him.
So the backs are in the eye this time as Dyer again goes in motion. Ball is given to Perkins. He's got a big burst up the middle, and he will get within about 3 yards of the first down. Guess we have a number change. 88 is Ryan Benow.
Yes.
For those of you keeping score at home. Pick up down to the 17-yard line. Third and 3. So Crawford trying to get some points on the board here. Under 7 minutes left to play. And they will send Greenick out to the right. Benow is at left end. And Dyer goes in motion from the left wing. Ball is given up the middle, and getting a little running room is Mike Grove. Going to bring up a 4th and short. And this drive was kept alive by the fake punt. Grove carries it down to about the 16-yard line.
See, this is a tough call here for Colonel Crawford. I mean, there's no doubt you're going to go for it, but I'm talking about, the play call. And the reason I say that is because, when they've been in these situations where looking for short yardage, every time they try to hand off the football, Crestline's been on top of them like they're expecting it.
4th and about a yard. Dyer goes in motion from left to right. Ball is kept by Steiger. He's got the first down as he gets all the way down inside the 10-yard line. So it looks like it could be a 1st and goal for Colonel Crawford. Nice little 6-yard pickup there on the quarterback keeper.
That's a beautiful play for Colonel Crawford. As Steiger, like you said, he gives the handoff. He's actually faking it, but he holds the ball in that, the guy he's faking it to it, he holds it in his stomach so long that they tend to think that they're just having a tough time getting that, handoff off. So they all kind of go to the tailback, and then he just takes it around and finds a little bit of a hole.
It's just inside the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal. The ball again kept by Steiger. He's got the 5-yard line, just about the same exact play. Turns like he's going to hand the football off and then just goes forward with it. And he gets it down to about the 3-yard line, so a 7-yard pickup and 2nd and goal.
Part of what helps on that play as well is the fact that, that guy that he's handing it off or faking the handoff to is Roger Perkins, who was one of the bigger guys on the Colonel Crawford team. So when he hits that hole, he actually ends up blowing open some room there as the defensive linemen and, linebackers, he's got a full head of steam to kind of block them out of the way.
Colonel Crawford has to hurry. The play took a long time to get in. As Steiger under center, taking a long count now, but he does get the play off in time, and there's a mix-up. And they're going to lose yardage on that play. As looks like Grove again, he's going to be stopped back at about the 5-yard line. Didn't look like it was certain as to who was to get the football. And they're going to say lost back to the 4-yard line, and Colonel Crawford will use another timeout. So we've got a timeout on the field with 4:41 left to play. Remains Crestline 21, Colonel Crawford at nothing.
Probably his best passing game in the games I've seen him so far this year.
They go to the wishbone with a 3rd and 4. As Steiger goes long count, he will keep the football. Now he pitches it at the last moment back to Grove trailing, and again they're only going to get back down maybe the 2-yard, maybe the 3-yard line, so back to the line of scrimmage. And going to bring up a 4th and goal from the 3.
What happens there is Grove is actually waiting for a downfield block to be established, so he kind of hesitates a little bit, does a little bit of a stutter step, and one of the Crestline Bulldog defenders was able to catch him from behind as he was waiting for his blocks downfield to develop.
Okay, Steiger comes to the sideline to get the play. We're coming down on the 4-minute mark. Crestline with a 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. Greenick will go out to the right. Benow is at the left end, Dyer in the left slot, backs are in the eye. Big 4th down play here is in motion. Steiger with the football trying to roll to the outside. He's got the option to throw, but he's not going to get the ball away as the Crestline pressure was there. And they will drop him in on the stop is Ryan Weaver. And Steiger is dropped back at the 10-yard line for a 7-yard loss.
It was a good attempt right there, but once again, Crestline, they just bring so many people on those plays. You got to get rid of the ball very quickly, but nobody was open, especially, when you're that close, when you're trying to pass the ball, it's very difficult because the back of the end zone acts as another defender. You guys don't have a lot of room to operate. A lot of people in a small, confined area, so Steiger was not able to get himself set up to throw the ball downfield for an open receiver. Sure enough, big sack for Crestline.
3:49 left. Crestline up 21-0. They can probably run the clock out here. The ball on first down goes to Stoops. He comes to the 16, 17-yard line. He has not carried the ball that much since the first two big carries in the first period. Now a flag going down late. And may have had some more words spoken. Carey came out to the 18-yard line, so it was an 8-yard pickup. But that may get all wiped out here.
Yeah, this one's going to be against Colonel Crawford, I'm pretty sure.
Haven't given an indication yet as to what the penalty is going to be.
Yeah.
Dead ball foul just on Crawford, so unsportsmanlike conduct. So that will give the Bulldogs the first down. And gives Colonel Crawford 90 yards in penalties.
They're going to win one of these battles.
They finally pulled ahead of Crestline there. Yeah. Crestline's only got 80 yards, so. That last drive, though, by Colonel Crawford started at their own 32-yard line, got all the way down to the Crestline 4 before they stalled. Took 14 plays, but just couldn't quite punch it in. In motion goes Hatfield. As Hoker will turn around, hands the football off against Stoops. He's got the 40-yard line, almost took out the official, has another first down as he gets it all the way out to the Crawford 44.
Doing little bits at a time. Very nice job.
Crestline out to their 44-yard line where they have a first and 10. That was their 13th first down of the ball game. In motion again goes Hatfield. Hoker, though, just going to turn around, hands the football off to Friley, and he will get close to midfield, about the 48-yard line. Another 4-yard pickup for Josh is brought down. Crestline just working the clock. 2:40 left to play, and Colonel Crawford is not going to stop it, down by the 3 touchdowns.
Stoops on the carry, brought down by a mob of Eagles.
Colonel Crawford has really stuck in with them, especially defensively. They've done a very nice job in this game. And you give to Crawford, and they haven't played their best game, obviously. I mean, you look at the penalties and you know that, but they still come out here and play good enough to win, and that's what you're looking for. When great teams are able to do that.
Hatfield's getting a workout, going in motion again. They will hand the football off to Friley. Just missed in the backfield. Now he cuts it up to the 50, to 45, to 40, and bumped out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Pickup of another 16 yards in play. And the 14th first down for Crestline. Does go out of bounds. That stops the clock.
The last time we saw Crestline when they played Ontario, Friley was actually very sick of the flu that week. We still saw him run for over 100 yards. In this game, 27 carries already in the game. A real workhorse. I mean, he gets the ball just so often.
Down to the 38-yard line there. Stoops the ball carrier that time, and he'll only get about 2 yards. Brings up a second down and 8.
Stoops on the carry, brought down by Coleman.
Under 2 minutes to go.
Bring out second down and 8.
This was Parents' Night here tonight at North Robinson with the parents of all the varsity fall sports being introduced before the ball game. Had a nice night for it.
Absolutely. It turned out to be a beautiful night for football, no doubt. They deserved it after last week.
Crestline will split wide receivers on a second down and 8 from about the 36-yard line. Ball is kept by Ben Hoker, and he may be gone for a touchdown. He's at the 20-yard line, 15, 10, 5, and he is in. Ben Hoker will score from 36 yards out. His first running touchdown of the night, but he has accounted for 3 as he has thrown for 2.
Runs for 36 yards for touchdown.
Comes with a minute 16 left. And Goddard in to attempt the point after.
Great run there by Hoker, and I mean, just the option play there for Crestline. Everybody kind of sat up, waiting for Friley to get the ball. Hoker saw the hole, kept it himself, and just took off, got into the secondary, and split the defenders right down the middle, in for the touchdown. Beautiful run, Ben Hoker.
Goddard to attempt the point after. There's the spot. The kick is up, and it's going to be no good. Went off to the left. We have a timeout with a minute 16 left to play. It's now 27. Oh, wait, the flag on the play. Hold everything.
I think it's going to be after play activity there.
So it's going to be on Colonel Crawford, so they will just tack that onto the kickoff. So we do have a timeout with a minute 16 left. It's now Crestline 27 and Colonel Crawford nothing.
And they signal it's going against the Eagles. A lot of just throwing their hands up in the air in frustration. I think it's a lot of jabbing going back and forth right now. Make no mistake about it. I think both teams are in on it. And on this play, I think they just happened to see Colonel Crawford get the last shot, and as a result, they get the penalty going in their direction.
I think the Crawford coaches may just be saying that it's going both ways. If you're going to call it, on us, you got to call it on them too. But officials only going to call what they saw. So, minute 16 left. Looks like the Crestline coaches are leaving the press box.
They've seen what they needed to see tonight. A very good victory for the Bulldogs here, and gives them some good positive momentum going into their big game next week.
Of course, a 6-0 game after the first quarter. Crestline scored with 5 seconds to go to halftime to take a 14-0 lead in the locker room. Nobody scored in the third period, but Crestline has put up 23 points here, or make it 13 points here in the fourth period, and lead it now by the 27-0 mark. And they will assess the unsportsmanlike penalty on the kickoff. So that'll put Colonel Crawford over 100 yards in penalties tonight. And then Crestline will kick off from the Colonel Crawford side of the 50-yard line. They'll kick it off from the 45.
Here's something you don't see a lot.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that. Don't expect real good field position unless you get a heck of a return.
Goddard kick
if Goddard doesn't put it in the end zone.
Miller and Schmidt back to receive for the Eagles.
Of course, in a closer game, you could go for the onside kick here, but I don't think Crestline will. I think it'll just... There's the approach, and they will kick it. It has to be returned from the 12-yard line, 15, 20. It's 20, the 20-yard line, about 22, 23. Mike Grove.
Grove receives the kick
with a return.
The Eagles.
So Colonel Crawford down 27-0. They do have a timeout left if they would wish to use it. I want to thank the folks up here in the press box tonight for their assistance and halftime snack.
Absolutely. We're always happy to get that.
Oh, yeah. They kind of shyly requested it, and we almost jumped at them and said,
yes, exactly.
From the 23 on the first down, there's just a little quick pass out to the right side. Maybe almost a lateral, but they're going to roll an incompleted pass intended for Adam Grau.
Yeah, once again, they were trying to just do that quick pass right there, but it ended up falling straight down, incomplete. And that's actually Greenick who's throwing the football now, playing the quarterback slot for Colonel Crawford.
His Tiger's been banged up a couple of times, and
like I said, this team, I mean, as far as the Bulldogs go, man, do they hit. And make no mistake about it, they come through and they pop as much as possible. And, whenever they see the opening, and I think that's part of the reason you see tempers flares. You see a lot of your guys getting hit around a lot, kind of get upset.
Greenick again under center. He will drop back to throw, fires the ball a little bit underthrown. It's again intended for Grau. And we'll bring up a third down. Colonel Crawford just 2 of 12 on third downs here this evening. Stops the clock with 1:02 left to play. Crestline will remain undefeated in the league as they will go to a 4-0 in league play. Sets up a big game next Friday night for Winford, who, depending on what they do tonight, will either come in undefeated as well in the league or with just the one loss. So they split the receiver out to the right on 3rd and 10. Greenick will hand the football off. Ball is dropped, and there's a big pile up. Grove was the ball carrier, never did get the clean handoff, and Crawford does get it back. But we'll bring up a 4th and about, looks like got back to the line of scrimmage, 4th and about 10. Big pile on the ground there. They're just now untangling.
Covers the fumble. So bring out 4th down.
So 4th down, Ryan Schmidt will kick the ball again once away. Kick the ball away once again. Why don't we try it that way? And he's counting everybody. There's the snap. Good snap this time. Not going to fake this one. He's going to kick it away. Another nice spiral driving back to the 35-yard line, and not much of a return at all. Don't have a number 7, or excuse me, that's going to be Dustin Gray making the return. What a nice kick.
Yeah, great kick right there. That's one thing that they've had going for them, no doubt about it. Both teams.
Really.
roping the ball off those punts.
Well, Crestline will just need to kneel down a couple of times here, and they'll put this one in the book, start at their own 39-yard line this time. And would imagine they'll have a new quarterback out there. I'll wait till they come out to see who they do have. And nope, still Hoker. Ben will take the snap and just kneel down. In fact, he went forward a little bit with it to run the clock. That should be the final play of the game, as they should not need to snap it again, as we're down to our final 20 seconds here in North Robinson. So Crestline has made the trip and done what they needed to do here this evening. They score 14 points in the first half, 13 points in the fourth quarter, and they will remain undefeated in the North Central Conference. Our final score here this evening in North Robinson, it is Crestline 27, Colonel Crawford nothing, and we'll wrap it up right after this.